The department says it will suspend the processing of immigrant visas for citizens of 75 countries whose nationals are deemed likely to require public assistance while living in the U.S. The suspension will not apply to applicants seeking non-immigrant or temporary tourist or business visas. The department says it's bringing an end to the abuse of America's immigration system. In the House, Illinois Democrat Robin Kelly introduced impeachment papers against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Secretary Noem has called my impeachment efforts silly. I want to tell her right now, Secretary Noem, you have violated your oath of office, and there will be consequences. I am watching you. Members of Congress are watching you. The American people, most importantly, are watching you. And most of all, we are not liking what we're seeing.
Last week, an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good in Minnesota. Noem and President Trump say the ICE agent acted in self-defense. Vice President J.D. Vance blamed Good, calling it a tragedy of her own making, and said the ICE agent may have been sensitive from having been injured during an unrelated altercation last year. Iran's top judge hinted trials and executions are ahead, as activists say the death toll from Iran's protest has risen to more than 2,500. The country has eased some restrictions, allowing mobile phone calls abroad for the first time in days. Internet and texting services in Iran remain restricted. On social media, President Trump posted, "Anything less than U.S. control of Greenland is unacceptable." Vice President J.D. Vance is hosting Danish and Greenlandic officials for talks today. Lars Vintner lives on the island.
He should mind his own business. What is he going to do with Greenland?
A new AP Nork Center poll shows most Americans believe President Trump has gone too far in using the U.S. military to intervene in other countries. The U.S. says it's moving into the next phase of a Gaza ceasefire plan. This is AP News. Home sales are still slumping.
The U.S. housing market slump dragged into its fourth year in 2025 as sales remain stuck at a 30-year low, with rising home prices and elevated mortgage rates keeping many prospective home shoppers shut out of the market. The National Association of Realtors says that sales of previously occupied homes were flat in comparison with 2024, when sales sank to the lowest level since 1995. The median national home price for all of last year rose 1.7%. Sales have been stuck around a 4 million annual pace now going back to 2023. That's well short of the 5.2 million annual pace that's historically been the norm. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
People on the Hawaiian island of Maui are bracing for the possible end to FEMA rental assistance for people displaced by a massive wildfire in 2023. Those fires killed more than 100 people. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
This is St. Louis Blues broadcaster Chris Kerber, inviting you to follow all the exciting action of St. Louis Blues hockey this season. If you can't make it to the game, the next best thing is being there listening here on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO Radio in Salem, Missouri. Your radio home for the St. Louis Blues.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Weather on this Wednesday afternoon does call for clear skies, but cold temperatures with that wind, as the winds will continue to blow out of the northwest, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour, gusting up to 35. By tonight, our skies will be clear. It'll be cold. 15 degrees at wind chills as low as 5. Northwest winds are expected at 10 to 15. And still could gust up to 25 miles an hour. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday, only warming up to 38. We'll have a northwesterly breeze. That'll become southwesterly by the afternoon. It'll be cloudy Thursday night, not as cold, with a low of 27, with southerly winds 5 to 10. Winds could still gust, though, up to 20 miles an hour as they will move to the west after midnight. Partly sunny on Friday at a high of 45. Winds will be westerly at 10 to 15 and gust to 25. Then cloud cover will come back into the scene on Friday night with a low of 17. And then sunny on Saturday with a high of 31. Currently, 39 degrees with sunny skies. Feels like 30 with a north-northwesterly wind at 20 miles an hour, and 53% is our relative humidity. It's now time for the Brownfield Commentary and Livestock Report, brought to you as a courtesy of all of us right here at KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station. Now next, the Brownfield Commentary and Livestock Report on KSMO Media.
Missouri Net News, I'm Marshall Griffin. Governor Mike Kehoe's $54.5 billion state budget proposal includes $4.2 billion in state aid for K-12 schools and more than $361 million for school bus transportation. During his State of the State address on Tuesday, he said he also wants to expand school choice in Missouri.
We're including $7.5 million in our budget to make open enrollment a reality as soon as possible. Open enrollment is not about weakening public education, it's about strengthening it.
Governor Kehoe also called for gradually eliminating the state's income tax, a move he says will put more money in Missourians' pockets. But Democratic State Rep. Betsy Fogel warns the plan would wipe out $9 billion in general revenue and says Missourians will pay more elsewhere.
This will be an increase in sales tax, will be an increase on taxation of services, which will raise the cost of living for most Missourians. And I'm not in support of any tax proposal that increases cost of living for my constituents.
But Republican Senator Curtis Gregory says the income tax penalizes people for going to work.
And that's something I think we should try and get away from. The mechanics of making it work sound like we need to run a ballot initiative in November, and then we put the nuts and bolts of it, and that's going to start with a broadening of the sales tax base.
The Missouri Supreme Court says no to allowing transgender treatments. Ashley Bird has more.
The High Court has upheld a 2023 law banning gender transition treatments for minors and blocking Medicaid coverage for such care. Several civil rights groups and the mother of a child wanting to change gender sued the state of Missouri over the bans. In a unanimous decision, the court affirmed a lower court's judgment that the SAFE Act and Medicaid ban do not violate equal protection, due process, or other constitutional requirements. The state ban, called the SAFE Act, prohibits gender transition surgery on and prescription or administration of cross-sex hormones or puberty-blocking drugs for any individual under 18 years of age.
This is Missouri Net.
At the Missouri Department of Agriculture, they know protecting your livestock is a top priority, especially when black vultures are involved. Use the following tips to keep these pests away. Pen birthing animals near human activity. Remove roosting locations such as dead trees and abandoned barns, and scare vultures away with loud noises. Visit agriculture.mo.gov for more tips. There are plenty of mitigation options available. Get help today at agriculture.mo.gov.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
During that news continues, legislation in the Missouri State Senate would boost health benefits for members of the National Guard who are called to active duty by the governor for longer than 30 days. It's sponsored by Democrat Senator Maggie Nuremberg of Clay County.
The act requires the state to cover the cost of TRICARE insurance premiums for our National Guard members who are on state active duty orders for more than 30 days. The goal of the bill is to ensure our National Guard members are receiving the same benefits for state orders as federal orders.
Southwest Missouri is facing worsening drought conditions as this winter remains on pace to be the third driest on record, with less than an inch of rain since December. News Nation in Springfield reports the U.S. Drought Monitor now classifies most of that metro area, including Greene, Christian, Taney, Stone, Polk, and Lawrence counties, as other severe drought not helped by warm temperatures and strong winds. This is Missouri Net News.
Out of town and want to know what's going on in Salem, how the Salem Tigers did, or who may have passed away? There's only one way to get that information quickly, and that's by going to Your World Today online. Go to KSMORadio.com and click on the Your World Today button, and you'll get the latest edition online, or check out the Your World Today archives. And if you are in town, pick one up in any of the 30-plus locations in Salem and Bunker. Your World Today, they're free!
The foundation is set.
Missouri knocks off the #1 team in the nation.
The frame is built.
On the run, Mitchell for the flush, Missouri by 20.
And the gates,
the habits, the response to detail, the execution, all that stuff matters.
Are open.
Drives right baseline to the rim, jams it as he hangs and got fouled.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
Cruz, here comes the three. Bang! He splashed it home.
The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Another slow day for direct cash cattle and cash hog business. Good morning, I'm Megan Grebner with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. Direct cash cattle trade activity has been quiet this week. There was a very light round of business that took place on Monday. Live deals on the South were at $233. That's about $1 higher than the previous week's weighted averages, but not enough business to establish an accurate price trend. Look for more trade to develop as the week progresses. At the Tina Livestock Market in Missouri, feeder steers were steady to $10 higher and heifers were $10 to $20 higher. The USDA says there was a very nice offering of steers and heifers. Receipts were up for the most recent sale and on the year. Medium and large one feeder steers, 613 to 648 pounds, brought 437 to 452.50. Feeder steers, 700 to 746 pounds, brought $382.50 to $411. Medium and large one feeder heifer, 608 to 647 pounds, brought $382.50 to $408. Box beef end of the day mixed with moderate and light demand for solid offerings. Choice was up 88 cents at $357.99. Select was 87 cents lower at $357.18. Estimated cattle slaughter was 118,000 head, even on the weekend, down nearly 6,000 on the year. Cash hogs had no comparison and finished with another very light negotiated run. Processors just haven't been very aggressive in their procurement efforts in the new year, and prices and negotiated business has been reflective of that. Supplies of market-ready hogs are ample, and hog weights are still running well above year-ago levels. With plenty of pork available, processors have the leverage. The industry is also monitoring the overall demand picture. Demand for both domestic and global markets has a lot of uncertainty surrounding long-term strength. Barrows and Gilts at the National Daily Direct had a weighted average of $70. Both the Iowa, Minnesota, and the Western Corn Belt also had weighted averages of $70. Pork values ended the day lower, down $1.30 at $91.80. Loins and picnics were sharply lower. Butts and bellies were down. Hams and ribs were higher and sharply higher. And estimated hog slaughter was 494,000 head, down 1,000 on the week and up about 19,000 on the year. At the CME, live and feeder cattle closed sharply higher, waiting for direct business to develop. And lean hog futures ended the day mixed, adjusting spreads. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.
The Spotlight on Soybeans is brought to you by the Missouri Soybean Association. The Missouri Legislature is in session, and Missouri Soybean Association CEO Casey Wasser says there are several ag issues being monitored.
Governor Kehoe wants to make Missouri as competitive of a state as it can be. And I think he's going to be looking at a package that would have a long-term reduction in the income tax, ultimately trying to get it to zero. We're looking at that because there are some outstanding ag tax credits that are managed by the Missouri Department of Agriculture that will expire in a couple of years. And then the whole
has been the Brownfield Commentary and Livestock Report, brought to you as a courtesy of all of us right here at KSMO Radio and your hometown radio station, 1340 AM and 95.7 FM. Now time for a look at our updated funeral announcements, brought to you by Your World Today. 4 pages of news you can use that are available in paper form in Salem and in Bunker in over 40 locations, and online at KSMOradio.com. Click on there to get the latest in weather, news stories, obituaries, and sports. Check it out today. Your World Today in Salem and in Bunker in over 40 locations, and online at KSMOradio.com. Just a click away. Your World Today. John Francis Conway of Salem passed away Monday at the age of 87. Funeral services for John Francis Conway will be held at 11 o'clock Friday morning at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel, with graveside services scheduled for Friday afternoon at 1 at the Missouri Veterans Cemetery in Waynesville. Visitation for John Conway will be from 10 in the morning Friday until service time at the chapel, and then the graveside services will follow at 1 at the Missouri Veterans Cemetery in Waynesville. All the arrangements for John Conway are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Again, for John Francis Conway, whose graveside services will be at 1 in the afternoon at the Missouri Veterans Cemetery in Waynesville, and whose funeral services will be at 11 Friday morning at the Wilson Mortuary Salem Chapel. Betty Elizabeth Walker Sellers of Steelville passed away Sunday, January 11th at the age of 87. Funeral services for Betty Elizabeth Walker Sellers of Steelville will be Saturday morning at 11 at the Britton Bennett Funeral Home in Steelville, with visitation from 5 to 7 Friday evening at the funeral home. Interment will be in the Cedar Grove Cemetery. Memorials may be made to the St. Jude's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Britton Bennett Funeral Home of Steelville for Betty Elizabeth Walker Sellers, whose funeral services will be Saturday morning at 11 at the Britton Bennett Funeral Home in Steelville. And Catherine Diane Gorman of Licking passed away January 7th. A celebration of life for Diane will take place at a later date. All the arrangements are under the direction of the Fox Funeral Home of Licking. And that's a look at our updated funeral announcements, brought to you as a courtesy of all of us right here at KSMO Radio in your world today. Again, pick one up locally in Salem and also in Bunker at over 40 total locations. You can also go online at ksmoradio.com. And if you want to find out more information about advertising in your world today with an insert or a specific ad, feel free to call 573-729-6117 and ask for Melba, your world today. Stick around for our local news coming your way next in just a moment.
At Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, we are proud to be chosen by our neighbors and recognized by Forbes as one of America's best insurance companies. Awarded for the dependable coverage we've been providing for generations, including 75 years of life insurance to protect Missouri families. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
Hi, I'm Willie Strader and proud to be part of this community. For all your insurance needs, call me at 573-729-4941.
It's now time for local news. Local news brought to you as a courtesy of SBU Campus in Salem. They are located at 501 South Grand Street. You can call 573-729-7071 to find out more information about getting higher education close to home. Check it out for members and residents of Dent County and the surrounding areas. Count on SBU Salem Campus provide you that quality education you desire. 573-729-7071 SBU Campus. Industrial Development Authority of Dent County will be meeting this evening at 6 at the Salem Public Library meeting room. After the call to order will be the approval of the agenda, followed by the approval of the minutes. The IDA will consider the status of member appointments of Dean Jones, Cameron Irway, and Lori Plank, which will be followed by the review of financial statements for the period ending December 31st of 2025. The board will approve payment of the bills, including the City of Salem Economic Development, for $1,500 for October, November, and December of 2025, plus $1,500 for January, February, and March of 2026. The IDA board will hear a report from Economic Development Director Carrie Sutterfield, plus consider other business that may come before the board. Prior to the adjournment, the IDA may vote to go into closed session to discuss real estate. The Industrial Development Authority of Dent County's meeting tonight at 6 at the Salem Public Library meeting room is open to the public. You know, it's time to share your favorites on 2026 Best of Rural Missouri's Reader's Choice Contest. From hometown diners to hidden hiking spots, they want to know the places and the people that make Missouri shine. Your nominations will decide who earns the title of Best of Rural Missouri. Simply enter the name and location of your nomination at ruralmissouri.org. For example, Hahatonga State Park, Camdenton, is a past favorite that have earned the Best of Rural Missouri Hall of Fame, meaning they've won 5 or more times since 2012 and now get to rest on their well-earned laurels. Current Hall of Famers are Missouri Hick Barbecue in Cuba, Hahatonga State Park in Camdenton, the St. James Winery in St. James, Silver City in Branson, and there are others. The cities of Branson and Lake of the Ozarks also are added to that list. To keep things unique in Missouri, please exclude national or out-of-town state chains. Nominations are going on now through tomorrow for the Best of Rural Missouri Reader's Choice Contest. Get your submission in, but do it by tomorrow. Salem R80 Board of Education will be meeting tomorrow at 5 at the R80 boardroom. After the call to order and Pledge of Allegiance, the board will approve the agenda and the consent agenda. Salem High School students will receive recognition. In the students' report, I should say in the superintendent's report. CSIP goals will be addressed in all reports. Administration reports will be heard from William Lynch, the upper elementary, middle school, high school athletics and activities, special education, technology, maintenance, and transportation. In new business, the board is to approve a conflict of interest ordinance. No transfers, hires, or resignations or retirements are scheduled to be considered. The board will then enter into executive session, followed by adjournment after returning to open session. It's a regular meeting of the Salem R80 Board of Education. It is going to be tomorrow night at 5 at the Salem R80 boardroom, and that meeting is open to the public. Missouri Department of Conservation will host a prescribed fire demonstration program on January 16th from 9 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon on private property in Phelps County, and on January 17th from 9 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon on private property in Dent County. The demonstration burn in Phelps County will be held at 11,887 County Road 3000. Attendees will receive hands-on experience on how to execute a prescribed burn from MDC Private Land Conservationist Luke Anderson. He'll be discussing equipment needed for the burn line installation, safe weather parameters, ignition operations, and other aspects needed to conduct a safe and successful prescribed burn. Participants do need to register on the MDC's website and complete the online portion of the class, which takes 2 to 4 hours to attend that program on January 16th. Now again, on January 17th in the afternoon property in Dent County, that demonstration will be held at 2815 County Road 6580 in Salem. And again, you do have to complete the online course before attending the field demonstration. Attendees will receive hands-on experience on how to execute that prescribed burn with MDC Private Land Conservationist Emily Lear. She'll be discussing the equipment needed for a burn line installation, safe weather parameters, ignition operations, and other aspects needed to conduct a safe and successful prescribed burn. Participants have to register on the Missouri Department of Conservation's website. That's mdc.mo.gov. And complete the online portion of the class. Again, that'll take about 2 to 4 hours. The online course requires a $25 fee to be paid to a third-party host. Upon completion, participants will receive a certificate that you do need to bring to either the January 16th or January 17th demonstration. Appropriate dress for the burn does include leather boots, leather gloves, cotton pants, cotton long-sleeve shirts, and safety glasses. For the Dent County burn, you can contact emily.lear at mdc.mo.gov. That's EMAILY.LEAR at mdc.mo.gov. And for the Phelps County burn, you can contact Luke Anderson. That's LUCAS.Anderson, ANDERSON, at mdc.mo.gov. You can also find additional Missouri Department of Conservation programs on the MDC's website. Merrimack Regional Planning Commission's revolving loan fund has over $700,000 to loan to businesses in any of the 8 counties served by the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission. This includes Crawford, Dent, Gasconade, Marys, Osage, Phelps, Pulaski, and Washington counties. Any individual business can apply for up to $200,000 in a revolving fund loan. Benefits of this loan program include fixed-rate financing for the borrower, improving a locality's quality of life, a lower down payment for the eligible passive concern, and longer maturities to repay the debt for the borrower. For any business that needs assistance, contact the MRPC office at 573-265-2993. We do want to remind everybody that coming up right after the 1 o'clock weather, we're going to have about a 10-minute interview or so with Mike Claiborne from the Cardinal Radio Network. We'll be talking about the Cardinal Caravan coming to the Rolla High School on Saturday afternoon at 5:30. And again, we'll be talking to Mike about the attendees of that caravan and also about the caravan itself. Again, the Cardinal Caravan coming to the area on Saturday afternoon at 5:30 in Rolla. And again, we'll be having a little interview with Mike Claiborne at a little after 1. He'll be telling you about the attendees at that caravan. Stick around. We are going to be coming right back. And when we do come right back, we will have for you right here on KSMO Radio, your hometown radio station, a look at what's going on in weather and in sports. All that still coming your way here on KSMO Media.
Southwest Baptist University campus in Salem provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding areas. The classes at SBU Salem campus are taught in the afternoon and evenings, making a degree attainable for people who are in the workforce or can't afford to go off to get a degree. We offer degrees in nursing, which is an RN Bridge program, elementary education. For more information on the degrees and programs, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student.
We've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays, but now we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, are now available at Wegmans.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Take a look at some local sports news brought to you as a courtesy of KSMO. Our Salem Lady Basketball Tigers improved to 2-0 in the SCA Conference as they beat the Houston Lady Tigers Monday night in Houston, 58-45. Salem was led by Paisley May with 19 points, followed by Clara Ball with 12 more. Salem improves to 6-6 on the year, and they've won 4 of their last 5 games. Lady Tigers will continue SCA Conference play Thursday night as they'll be at Kabul starting at 6 at the JV game with a varsity match to follow. The Bunker Lady Basketball Eagles remain undefeated as they beat Washington Monday night in the Union Girls Basketball Tournament 50-42. They're 12-0 on the year, and they'll play the St. Francis Borgia Lady Knights on Friday night. The Bunker Boys Eagles took on Lesterville last night, and they won 76-33 to remain unbeaten at 16-0, and they will take on Higbee on Friday night. And tonight's the Battle of the Tigers at Columbia as Missouri will take on Auburn. Pre-game coverage on KSMO Radio begins at 5:30. The tip-off to follow at 6 o'clock. We have more sports news coming up next from the Missouri Net on KSMO Media.
Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. The Blues pumped the brakes on their skid after shutting out the Carolina Hurricanes 3-0. Nick Bukestad scored a shorthanded goal. Dalibor Dvorsky made it 2-0, and Jimmy Snuggerud scored on the power play. And Joel Hofer made 33 saves. Coach Jim Montgomery saw the best version of the Blues.
I thought tonight was the smartest game we've played as far as playing a simple but very effective game. Being really reliant on our forecheck and playing fast.
The Cardinals traded third baseman Nolan Arenado to the Arizona Diamondbacks. We mentioned this yesterday. They get minor league right-hander Jack Martinez in cash considerations.
There's not that many people in the Hall of Fame, and to talk about him as I have and as I believe that he will be one of them someday, regardless of where he's at in his career, where we are, that's not something you take lightly. It's baseball royalty right there.
Chaim Bloom, the club's president, the Cardinals tried trading Arenado last season.
He, I think was a bit more flexible in his own mind about where he was willing to go and on what circumstances.
Royals general manager J.J. Piccolo is looking for some more offense, so the Royals are moving in their outfield wall. The wall will come in 8 to 10 feet near the foul line. The gaps will go from 387 to 379. Center field will still remain at 410, and the wall will come down from 10 feet in most places to 8.5. Research shows that these changes would have improved the Royals' run value over the last 3 seasons. The Mizzou Tigers look to get back in the win column. They host Auburn at Mizzou Arena tonight. The Tigers coming off that 76-69 loss to Ole Miss on the road. Mizzou 2-1 in SEC play. They'll tip off at 6. Missouri State visits Western Kentucky. The Bears have won 7 of their last 8. They tip at 6:30. And the St. Louis Billikens go for their 10th win in a row. They host Fordham. They'll tip off at Chaifetz Arena at 7. Bill Pollock, Missouri Net Sports.
My husband is a veteran, and he was injured in the line of duty.
It happened while I was deployed to Iraq. We were stopped at a checkpoint, and then all of a sudden, there was a loud explosion. An IED detonated 3 feet from my face.
It was bad.
I remember thinking, who's going to take care of my wife and daughter?
We took care of each other with a lot of help from DAV.
When America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I don't know what we would have done without them.
DAV was the voice that we didn't have.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Jason get the life-changing support and benefits they've earned so they can achieve more victories.
It wasn't easy, but he never gave up.
My victory is knowing my disability doesn't define me.
He's an inspiration.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Townscreen in Salem and Houston is a very effective way to get your message out to the public, courtesy of their vertical screens in high traffic areas in both towns. Your ad, flyer, or even video can be displayed for as little as $15 per week with monthly and yearly rates available. You'll also find Townscreen on display at the Echo Bluff and Montauk State Park lodges. Produce your own ad or get help from the Townscreen staff. To find out more, go online at townscreen.com or call or text 636-338-1199. Townscreen.
In a world where everything is digital, your payments should be too. Time is precious. Digital payments provide a quick and simple way to make secure purchases. The Bank of Salem recognizes the need for digital payment convenience and is excited for you to enjoy a new way to pay. We now support Apple Pay, Google Pay, Fitbit, Garmin, and MasterPass. To enroll, call, or stop by either Bank of Salem location today and let us help make your shopping experience easier. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Forecast during this noon hour does call for sunny but breezy and colder and colder and colder as the day goes on. We will have wind chills in the 20s to possibly into the teens by early evening, and then getting down to single digits after midnight. We will have those winds out of the north-northwest at 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 35 all day long. And then tonight, those winds will die down a bit to about 5 to 15 and still gust up to 20. We will have a low by early morning of 15 with wind chills as low as 7. Sunshine on Thursday, high of 38 with a northwesterly breeze of 5 to 10, becoming southwesterly by the afternoon. Cloudy Thursday night, low at 27 with south winds 5 to 10, becoming westerly after midnight. Then Friday, partly sunny with a high of 45, winds out of the west at 10 to 15, could gust up to 20 to 25 miles an hour. Clouds come in Friday night and it'll get cold again with a low of 17. And then sunny on Saturday, high of 31. Partly cloudy Saturday night and a low of 7. And then sunny on Sunday with a high of 31. And then on Martin Luther King Day, Monday, the sunshine will come back. We'll warm up to 36. And by Tuesday, we should be back near 40 with plenty of sunshine. Currently at KSMO Radio, it's 39 degrees, sunny skies, windy. North-northwesterly winds continue to blow at 20 miles an hour. 51% relative humidity. Feels like 29 right now at KSMO Radio. Hey, stick with us. We do have coming up in the 1 o'clock hour, right after we take a look at weather, an interview with Mike Claiborne talking about the Cardinal Caravan this Saturday, I should say. This Friday, but Friday and Saturday the Cardinal Caravans will be out. And Friday they'll be in Springfield. Saturday they'll be in Rolla at 5:30. That's free at the Rolla High School gym, and you're more than welcome to attend. And of course, youngsters under the age of 15 and under can get a free autograph. And then some adults can even get some as well. But they are supposedly giving away Cardinal tickets to adults during the caravan. That's going to be this Saturday at 5:30 at the Rolla High School gym. Again, we're going to talk to Mike Claiborne from the St. Louis Cardinals about that caravan and the people who will be attending. So be listening in right here on KSMO just after the 1 o'clock hour.
Missouri Net News. I'm Sue Danielson. State lawmakers are beginning to take a deep dive into Governor Mike Keogh's $54 billion budget proposal, which includes over $4 billion in education funding, along with a push for expanding school choice.
When families have choices, schools are pushed to innovate.
The Missouri Supreme Court is upholding a law banning gender transition treatments for minors and blocking Medicaid coverage for such care. The court unanimously affirmed a lower court's judgment that the SAFE Act and Medicaid ban do not violate equal protection or other constitutional requirements. A Missouri Senate bill would authorize the National Guard to carry out cybersecurity missions. Adjutant General Charles Hausman.
The bill authorizes the Guard to be able to respond effectively.
The city of St. Louis is no longer actively searching for monkeys, reportedly seen roaming around part of the city. The health department's Justin Hauser says they've seen a lot of fake photos.
It was a challenge verifying the authenticity.
He says anyone who has a monkey can turn it over to the city without penalty. Missouri Net News.
Your hair's low-key giving right now.
Speaking of giving, my mom got a pic with Taylor Swift and she's low-key kind of famous now.
Okay, but my mom parallel parks with no hands. She's built different.
That's cute. My mom owns the electric co-op.
Wait, what?
Like she owns the whole thing?
That's her mom.
She a baddie.
Do you actually own the electric co-op?
Well, I'm a member, and that makes me a part owner. So are all our neighbors.
Energy cool.
You're a member. Learn about your cooperative membership benefits at membersfirst.coop.
Enough already.
We can do more.
Enough already. We can find a cure.
Enough already.
We can do better for our kids.
Enough already. We are relying on you.
We can come together to support Children's Cancer Research Fund, a national nonprofit dedicated to ending childhood cancer that is on the front line of breakthroughs. Because
it's enough already.
Go to childrenscancer.org today.
I love seeing an underdog get their flowers, so imagine being a fan of the Daily Double at McDonald's, the ultimate undercover fan fave. Beef patties, melty cheese, lettuce, and tomato. What's not to love? Picture it with small fries, 4-piece chicken McNuggets, and small soft drink, all for $6. Maybe you remember the $6 Daily Double meal deal? Dream about it even. But this unsung hero, it's waiting for you at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Choosing the right residual herbicide can feel like you need a map. Too many choices, too many claims that never quite hold up. Enough is enough. Zidua brand herbicides from BASF make the choice easy. It sets the standard for longer-lasting weed control, giving up to 2 more weeks of protection than competitors. When you have a Ziduation in your soybean fields, Zidua brand herbicides deliver new solutions to meet your evolving needs. Make the lasting choice and talk to your retailer today. Always read and follow label directions.
We just want you to know how much we appreciate your loyalty.
It's what I listen to all day.
Keeps me in a good mood. Thanks for listening. KSMO, Salem. Your station for Salem High School sports. KSMO, Salem.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In fields where weeds don't back down, farmers count on Liberty Ultra Herbicide by BASF. The Liberty Lock formulation delivers stronger coverage, improved uptake, and 20% better weed control. Results Colin Ryan in north central Iowa knows well.
The Liberty Lock formulation seems to really get down, penetrate into the weed, and the performance has been great.
That's Liberty Ultra Herbicide. Consistent, proven performance. Hear more Ultramonials at libertyultramonials.com. Always read and follow label directions.
Forecast does call for it to be clear skies throughout the rest of the day. Plenty of sunshine during the afternoon, and then clear skies all the way into Thursday, but getting colder. Temperatures will continue to drop throughout the entire afternoon and into the night, and we will have winds out of the north-northwest at 15 to 25 miles an hour, gusting to 35. Our skies will be clear tonight at a low of 15 by early Thursday morning, with northwesterly winds 5 to 15, gusting to 20. Wind chills could be as low as 5 above. Sun